look for me to go where I used to go before. I don't go there anymore. I found a better way. Oh, don't look for me to say.
Hi, my name is Gretchen Volk. I just graduated high school and I'm taking a gap year, and I've always loved Winnie's acting techniques and her teachings, and so I just really wanted to actually be in class. I live in South Dakota on a farm, so if you hear any chickens or goats outside, please, that's just my pets. I talk too much. I'm quite bright, so it's interesting. But nevertheless, I talk too much. You see already, I'm saying much more than I should say. Boys hate it for a girl to blurt out, "I'm bright." They think she's really saying, "I'm brighter than you are."
You're a little serious now, okay? There's got to be a little bit of sadistic pleasure in doing to him what you're doing to him. Do you know what I mean? You have to have more fun doing it. From the very start, when you walk up and go, "Oh, are you in for it now? What do you want?" "Well, you're not really right about what you were saying." "Why not?" "Well, it's not my problem." "What do you mean it's not your problem?" "Well, my problem is I talk too much." See what I'm saying? That you're evilly poking him with everything that you say. You got to have more fun driving him crazy. And so then you're explaining it to him because he's not that smart, okay? And that's the whole point of what you're saying, is that you're not so smart, are you? But that's okay, because, if I'm attracted to you, I'm going to be real slow and easy and teach you what I'm trying to say to you and try to get you to understand, because you're dumb. You see what I'm saying, Gretchen? Because he's just called you dumb. You have to get revenge.
To say some things I used to say before. I don't say them anymore. I found better.
I talk too much. No, I'm quite bright, so it's interesting. But nevertheless, I talk too much. And you see, already I'm saying much more than I should say. Boys hate it for a girl to blurt out, "Oh, I'm bright." Yeah, they think that she's really saying, "I'm brighter than you are." And as a matter of fact, that is what I'm saying. I am brighter than even the brightest boys I know. That's why it's a mistake to talk too much. Yeah, well, boys, they fall behind and then they feel challenged and grow hostile. So, when I'm very attracted to a boy, I make it a point to talk more slowly than I would to one of my girlfriends. Because I guide him along from insight to insight, well, he ends up being terribly impressed with his own brilliance and with mine for being able to keep up with him. And he tells me that, "You're the first girl I've ever met who is as brilliant as one of my guy friends." That's love.
Some things I used to say before. I don't say them anymore. I found a better way. Oh,
So I grew up going to shows a lot and seeing a lot of live theater, and that's what really started my passion for acting. And I knew that I wanted to be up there doing that too one day. So in college, I decided to try acting, and now I'm in Winnie's class to perfect my technique a little bit more. And I really appreciate Winnie for giving me more one-on-one time than I think I've gotten from any other of my teachers. And I felt that I've grown so much, and I've seen all my classmates grow so much as well. And this has been a really awesome experience. Are you getting a divorce? Because if you're getting a divorce, you haven't changed a bit. Do you still spend your nights dozing over a textbook in that leather chair as if you're really there? At least when you're gone, you are gone. Now you're supposed to be here, but you're gone at the same time. Sort of like, I know, I know, your virtual dad. Plug him in and pretend he loves you.
Oh, I found a better way, brighter paths for my feet, for my heart.
You still have to keep some pain in it. Okay? So you're covering it up, but it has to be underneath it. Okay? So it's like having a layer underneath. So that, what is your first line?
Are you getting a divorce?
That is something that would really bother you. Because why? He promised that he wouldn't. And now he's lying again. He's lying right now. He says, don't worry, everything's fine. Okay, so tell me, are you getting a divorce? Are you? Are you doing everything that you told me that you weren't going to do? Tell me the truth right now. You see what I'm saying?
I do, yeah.
Because that would mean it wouldn't be so fine, wouldn't it? Do you understand what I mean? Let it come out of what he's just said.
Okay.
I found a better way. Oh, don't look.
Are you getting a divorce? Because if you're getting a divorce, then you haven't changed a bit. Do you still spend your nights dozing over a textbook in that leather chair as if you're really there? At least when you're gone, you're gone. Now you're supposed to be here, but you're gone at the same time. Sort of like, I know, your virtual dad. Plug him in and pretend he loves you. Am I making you want to leave again? Go on. You're good at it. It'll be just like all the other times you've left, only this time you're already packed. I can hardly stand looking at you buy your bags. I can't tell if you're coming or going. Do you know the difference? Or is there only one way for you? It's a way, right? This is the moment when you swing by to tell me you're leaving again, to go on an even longer trip with an even bigger grant, to study something even stranger than before I'm even used to having you around. Sorry. I guess I'm feeling cold and unwelcoming.
Oh, I found a better way, brighter paths for my feet, for my heart a joy so sweet. I found a better way.
I'm Nathan. I am a college student, and the reason why I got into acting was I ended up rooming with a guy who studied film, cinematics, and everything. And so he started asking me to do things. And then as I did it, I fell in love with just the whole process. So I was like, you know what, I really want to take this seriously, and that's why I'm here.
Found a better way. Oh, I found a better way, brighter paths for my feet, for my heart a joy so sweet. I found a better way.
Well, for this to make sense, you kind of understand that my father and I never, well, it's his fault. It's my fault. But he'd say it's my fault. I don't know, that's not fair. Whatever. We don't have a very good thing, but as bad as it gets for me and him, I think it gets even worse for my mom. It's so incredible. It's so beautiful.
Remember, you're trying to change the person you're talking to. And there's certain things that are more important for you to try to convince them of. And there's certain things that are easier for you to talk about than other things. It's hard for you to talk about your dad because you do feel guilty about and all that. But when you start talking about your mom, it's like you just really want him to understand that that's why you need the keys. That's why you got to save her. And how wonderful she is. That's easier. Do you see how I sped up when I started talking about that? Now, it's not about speed. It's about trying to convince. And so if we're really trying to convince somebody saying, you got to do this, we don't go, you've got to do this, do you? Because you're not struggling to say anything about how wonderful your mom is. but you're thinking about how wonderful she is, and you're saying how beautiful she is, and how sad she is. So the attention has to be on him, say that you're answering somebody who says, oh, I'm sure she's fine. No, she's not fine. She gets so upset. So it becomes about you trying to convince him. Okay. And so it's also about they're not real family. No, they are a real family. My new roommates. Okay. Because it's you're trying to convince him of that too, right?
Mm.
Because it's good to be able to go somewhere where you actually want to hang out. I used to drive around the block, not going home because my dad was home. But now it's good to go home because I actually want to hang out with these people. Then what you have to do, he goes, well, that's what's most important. And you go, no, that's not what's most important. What's really important, you have to get them off of your roommates and onto no. But what's really important here is my mom. You got to get back to her. Okay.
Mhm.
I found a better way. Oh, I found a better way. Right.
These are my keys. And in order for this to make sense, you've got to understand that Father and I never really. It was his fault. It was my fault. But he would say it's my fault. I don't know. That's not really fair. But whatever, we we don't have a very good thing. And as bad as it gets for me and him, it gets even worse for my mom, who's just so amazing. She's she's so beautiful. And she's elegant. But she gets so sad sometimes. She gets so upset when me and my dad fight that her face just gets so she she just cries a lot. And I saw these pictures of them, my parents, back before they had me, and they looked so happy. They looked so happy. So I know that things weren't always the way they are now. But, I guess it's obvious that these keys mean that I'm not at home anymore, which is great for me. I'm subbing from this guy, Sean, who's this really nice, frustrated entrepreneur guy. And, it's me and three other guys. And, it's nice being able to go back to a place where you actually want to hang out. And it's a big place, but more than all that, it means that I'm not at home anymore, causing anything. I'm here now so that my dad and I don't have to deal with each other, and so my mom isn't so sad. I hope. So it's just good. It's better for everyone. I really believe that I have these keys.